How's everybody doing tonight? Coming to you from Kansas Prairie Deer Feeders. Going to put a short video together, kind of show you the chute of this dual auger feeder. This dual auger feeder will feed anything. Only thing on the market like it. Going to kind of show you some details how I put the chute together for the auger. It's really the heart of this feeder. All right, so here we have the chute with the edges broke, welded onto the feeder. We need to cut a spot for the feed to discharge as the dual auger spin through here. So I'm gonna lay this out right now and cut this. We cut it at 2.5. So we'll mark it. We'll lay us a guide in here. And we'll plasma cut that right out. So we'll line that up and rip this. And our opening for that's our opening for our feed to come through as the auger spin. There'll be an end plate here, drop right on through. All right, we add a piece of angle iron down the center of the chute, and the two augers run on either side. That helps divert the feed material into the auger. So safety first, always wear your glasses. So on this set of feeders, this angle iron's cut at 29.5, and we'll just verify that I've got the stop set there. So we are 29.5. So we're good to go. So we'll go ahead and put the angle iron in and cut one. Bring it to the stop. Turn my air on for my clamp. Go ahead and fire the cutoff. Just like that, we are done. So after we get the angle iron cut, we measure and center it in here, clamp it in, and we run a couple welds on either side in the front and the back. And then our augers set on the left and right side of this. This diverts the feed. You've got the hoppers already broke on this side to divert it in. This just keeps things from laying in the bottom. welded the two ends on both sides. Now I'm going to put a weld in the middle and we'll be good. All right, piece of angle iron's in. Now we're going to put our top on. So to cover the chute, we cut and break a piece. I always break a peak in it so that the rain will slide off. But this piece will be welded in right here, and then we'll do our end cap, put the holes to mount the bearings for the two augers, and then we'll build the chute on the bottom of this. So this piece goes in next. So we'll measure it, line it up, probably bring these in just a little bit, make sure our sides are square, and then we'll weld her solid. All right, I'm using a quick clamp here to make sure these sides are good. So we'll take a measurement at the back, we'll measure here and adjust it so that we're perfectly straight. We are actually good right there. We'll put our piece in, check the sides. All right, that's good. So we'll add a couple tacks in the back and work our way forward. All right, that's tacked on. And we are good. We'll add a couple more tacks to it. All right, our chute cover is on. All right, now we will tack this. I've got a clamp holding that back so I could make sure I was good on the sides. I'm going to release that clamp and this should come right out now. Even though this is 14 gauge, it still moves a little bit when I cut or weld on it. So as we're going, sometimes we got to move it back a little bit. So we'll run a couple tacks here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and raise this up to get it at a better working height for me, and we're gonna go ahead and weld that seam. this is 14 gauge, if I welded everything at once, I'd get a lot of bow in it. So I weld a little, move back and forth until I get a complete weld. All right, top seam's welded. All right, to weld the underneath, we'll actually flip this feeder over so that I can run that bead. This hydraulic lift table makes this feeder really easy to work on since I've got to flip it and maneuver it a lot. We'll go ahead and hook the welder back up and run a couple beads for you. Now we have a completed discharge chute. Be ready for the next step. So just wanted to show you guys how I put this together on the dual auger deer feeder. All right, I'm gonna just kind of lay the components in here so you kind of get an idea of what truly makes the Kansas Prairie deer feeder unique in the market. So that gets welded in the middle, and then we have our two augers. And we run a left and a right auger on these. But that is the view that makes the Kansas Prairie deer feeder the only feeder like this in the market, the dual augers. Feeds rice bran, sweet feed, protein corn, anything you want to put through this feeder. Dual augers. So I want to have a quick equipment section of these videos. As I go through, I'm going to highlight a different piece of equipment. Tonight I was using the 211 Miller-Matic from Miller welder. I run 030 wire in this welder. I do all my 14 gauge body and chute work with this 030 wire in this welder. It's a great little welder. I've got another welder, a little bit bigger welder, that I run 035 wire in when I'm doing my 1/4 inch thick skids and my legs. We'll review that on an upcoming video. But tonight, Miller-Matic 211, great sheet metal welder here. Well, thanks for joining me as I went through this little part of the build. I'm gonna keep doing these videos. I hope you guys subscribe and like my channel. Hit notifications so you know when I put a new video out. Kansas Prairie Deer Feeders dual auger feeder. There is nothing on the market like this. It'll do what nothing else will do. So if you're interested in feeding what your neighbors are not, this right here will get you done.